You are already dead, not by sword, not by hunger, but simply by breathing. Your throat is parched with dust, mixed with the taste of blood. In your ears, drums pound, as if the earth beats in rhythm with a foreign heart. You stand on the basalt slabs of Tenochtitlan, and you have already broken 3 laws. Your shirt is a death sentence. The spiny serpent pattern is worn only by Moctezuma. You drank from the fountain, sacred water not for strangers. You look up at the pyramid, where a priest in a jaguar mask holds a still warm heart. It beats. Still. Would you survive? No. Your immune system is like a lock without a key. America developed in isolation for 12,000 years. Its microbial world is alien to you. In 3 days, your joints will swell. Your skin will be covered in spots. And then, silence. The irony is that Tenochtitlan is cleaner than Paris. Here, streets are washed. Here, quarantine is enforced at the first sign of fever. Here, trash is carried away by boats before sunrise. But this very cleanliness kills you. You won't die from dirt. You will die from order. Imagine, you walk through the market. Vanilla, cocoa, roasted grasshoppers. People in Quetzal feather cloaks look at you, not with hatred, with pity. You are already dead. You just haven't fallen yet. And if by some miracle you survive, expect a feast. You will be fed. Meat. Your own. In Aztec cuisine, the flesh of a warrior is a delicacy. Not for cruelty, for balance. Your heart is fuel for the sun. Your death is a gift to the gods. Remember, this is not chaos. This is a system. Rigid, logical, ruthless. Here, even the color of your sandals is a crime, and silence is a verdict. But do not be afraid. We will go further. You will learn how this empire balanced on the edge between paradise and sacrifice, and why, to them, you are not a human. You are a resource. Imagine, you are not just a prisoner, you are fuel. In the 14th century, a man appeared who rewrote the rules of reality for an entire empire. Tlacaelel, not a priest, not a warrior, but an architect of the apocalypse. He understood the sun was dying, not poetically, physically, and for it to rise tomorrow, it needed to be fed. With what? Blood. Warm blood, torn from the chest of a living person. For him, sacrifice was not cruelty. It was responsibility. Like paying taxes, like watering a field. Would you survive? No. You would become part of the system. Here's how it worked. Every spring, neighboring cities consciously engaged in flower wars, not to kill, but to capture prisoners. Like a game with rules, today you take their warriors, tomorrow they take yours. All fair, all sacred. But there were other victims, young men who willingly went to the altar, girls adorned with feathers, like goddesses, even children. They were offered to Tlaloc, the rain god. Archaeologists found their fragile, hunger-marked bones beneath the temple. Their tears were meant to bring rain, their death to save the harvest. And now, the scale. In 1487, at the dedication of the Great Temple, 80,400 sacrifices were made in 4 days. Calculate. 1 sacrifice every 4 seconds, without interruption, without sleep. The hands of the jaguar-masked priests worked like pistons, ripped out, thrown, next. The pyramid steps became a river of flesh. Bodies tumbled down, where families collected them. Yes, you heard right. In Aztec culture, eating the flesh of a sacrifice meant absorbing its power. It wasn't cannibalism, it was communion. And this is where it gets interesting. This isn't madness, it's logic. Sacrifice isn't an exception. It's the empire's breath, like harvesting crops, like prayer at dawn. But if ritual is the soul, then law is its spine. Imagine you wore a cloak with the spiny serpent pattern, unaware it was only for Moctezuma. You wouldn't be imprisoned. You wouldn't be fined. You'd be scalded with boiling water in the main square. Your family would be sold into slavery. And this isn't punishment. It's the correction of an error in the code of reality. Did you drink pulque fermented agave juice? Adults are forbidden to drink it. You'd be sold into slavery. Because intoxication is a threat to order. And order is the only thing standing between the world and eternal night. Do you think this is overkill? The Aztecs thought differently. For them, chaos wasn't an abstraction. It arrived when ritual was interrupted, when law was broken, when a stranger breathed on sacred ground. And yes, you have already broken 3 laws. So the question isn't whether you will survive. The question is, how quickly you will be turned into a gift for the gods. He just wanted to look important. He wore a cloak with the spiny serpent pattern. Perhaps he thought he wouldn't be noticed in the crowd. Perhaps he dreamed the vanilla vendor would smile at him a little longer. But in Tenochtitlan, appearance isn't fashion. It's law. And he was seized. Without shouts. Without pursuit. 2 guards in wolfskin cloaks approached, nodded, and led him away. An hour later, he was tied to a post near the temple of Quetzalcoatl. The crowd was silent. Steam rose from a clay pot. Boiling water cascaded over his body. He didn't scream for long. Shock shut down his consciousness. His family was sold into slavery the next day. All this, not for treason, not for theft, but for a pattern. Because here, even fabric speaks. Who you are. And if you lied, you pay with your skin. Would you survive? No. You wouldn't know that you couldn't wear a red pattern on your forehead, or that sandals with a green border were only for priests. The Nezahualcoyotl Code wasn't about morality. It was about control. A warrior's hair, to the shoulders. A merchant's sandals, black without patterns. Wash, 3 times a day, morning, noon, before sleep. Break a rule, not, oh, excuse me. Break a rule and you are erased, like an error in the code. The law here doesn't protect. It holds. Holds the world from falling into chaos. And every rule is like a nail in the coffin of reality. Imagine, drunkenness is allowed for children, and for the elderly. But if you are an adult, and you drank pulque, you could be sold into slavery. Not for sin, for threat. A drunk adult is unpredictable, and unpredictability is a virus in the system that Tlacaelel assembled, like a clock. In their world, security is more important than freedom, and even a sip of agave is a state crime. Repeat, you die. Not in a basement, not in a prison, in the main square, as a lesson to all. Do you think this is paranoia? No. This is the logic of survival. In an empire where the sun dies without blood, even your gate must be correct. And it's not guards who watch this. Neighbors, merchants, children. Everyone is an eye of the system. Everyone is a potential informant. Fear is not a side effect. It is fuel. And the verdict is delivered by the Tlatoani, the serpent's mouth, without appeal, without tears. In 5 minutes, you are transformed from a person into a warning. Your mistake isn't in your heart, it's in the details. And in Tenochtitlan, details kill faster than a sword. He was 10 minutes late for the ceremony, but in Tenochtitlan, time doesn't tick. It pulsates to the rhythm of the temple drums. And 10 minutes is a tear in the fabric of reality. He was met at the gates by the Tlatoani, judges in obsidian masks. Their eyes were empty. Their voice, a single question, why? He whispered, I forgot. And that was enough. An hour later, his body hung from an agave rope above the Tlatelolco market. Not for treason, not for theft, but because his pulse didn't match the pulse of the gods. Would you survive? No. You wouldn't know that you had to be at the pyramid half an hour before sunrise, that even your breathing had to be in rhythm, and if you broke the rhythm, you were erased. And it's not guards who watch this. Spies, informants, even children. In the market they sell vanilla and listen to how you speak. In the temple you pray, and behind a column stands the emperor's ear. At home you whisper to your wife, and a servant is already running to court. In Tenochtitlan, trust is a vulnerability, and silence is the only armor. Executions here are like a market. Every week, in the main square, people come with their children. They eat tamales with chili. They drink atole. They discuss who will die today and for what, like us, the weather forecast. They looked at death as we look at the sunrise, without horror, without pity, with respect. Fear here isn't an emotion. It's a tool, like an axe, like a seed, like law. And yes, your neighbor can get corn for your sigh. Your son, quetzal feathers for your wrong word. And your wife, freedom, if she points out your mistake. Do you think this is tyranny? No. This is stability. In a world where the sun dies without blood, chaos is scarier than death. And everyone is a link in the chain that holds the sky. Imagine, you walk down the street, you smile at a stranger, and in that moment, 3 pairs of eyes have already recorded your gesture. Too free, too personal, a violation. Would you survive? Even if you knew all the rules, your skin would betray you. All of it is clean, washed, polished. But it is this very cleanliness that kills. You haven't encountered these microbes. Your immune system is a blind guest at a foreign feast. In 3 days, your joints will swell. In 5, the fever will begin. And on the 7th, you will beg to be sacrificed, at least quickly. Death here isn't the end. It's part of the schedule. And you are already dead. You just haven't fallen yet. You inhale and smell flowers, carnation, incense, freshness. The streets gleam like polished obsidian. Water murmurs in the canals, cleaner than in the royal gardens of Madrid. You think this isn't a city. This is a cheat code for civilization. But on the 2nd day, your head feels like it's in a vice. Your temperature is 104. You drink water. You vomit. On the 3rd, spots, dark like the shadows beneath the pyramid. This isn't plague, not smallpox. It's a local fever, unnamed, merciless. The Aztecs endure it like a cold. They have antibodies. You have none. Would you survive? No. You would die in 72 hours. Not by sword, not by law, from cleanliness. Here's the paradox. The cleaner the city, the deader you are. The Aztecs wash their streets. They burn diseased tissues. They isolate the infected. In Europe at this time, they drink from rivers where corpses float. But here, order, hygiene, discipline. And this is precisely what kills you. Why? Because for 12,000 years, America developed in isolation. Its microbial world is like a closed server. You are a hacker without a password. Your immune system doesn't know these viruses, hasn't encountered these bacteria. It's blind, it's deaf, it's helpless. Archaeologists find the bones of victims. And see, the Aztecs have antibodies to everything. You have none. You didn't participate in this evolutionary war. And now, the battlefield is inside you, and you lose from the first minutes. But even if by some miracle you survive, dinner awaits. Imagine, a bowl is served to you, steaming, smelling of chili and cocoa. Inside, meat, tender, with blood. It's not beef, it's the flesh of a warrior sacrificed that morning. Eat it, and you will absorb his strength. Refuse, and you will break the ritual. And in Tenochtitlan, ritual isn't tradition. It is the breath of the empire. The Spaniard Geronimo de Aguilar once refused. They didn't kill him. But from that day on, he was unclean. He wasn't invited to ceremonies. No one looked him in the eye. He survived, but ceased to exist. So the choice is simple: die from fever, or die from refusal. Do you think this is cruelty? No, this is logic. In a world where the sun dies without blood, even food is a sacrifice. And you are not a guest. You are part of the menu. And yes, your death is already on the schedule. It just hasn't reached the table yet. Imagine, you are Geronimo de Aguilar, 8 years a captive of the Maya. Your skin cracked from salt, your soul from loneliness. And now you are led to Tenochtitlan, not as a slave, as a guest. You are seated at a table in the house of a noble. Around you, the fragrance of California poppy, the steam of mole sauce, the gleam of ceramics depicting Huitzilopochtli. Meat is served to you, firm, dull red, and the smell, with a metallic tang, reminiscent of fresh blood. You freeze. In your ears, only the pounding of your own pulse. Eat. Become part of the system. Refuse. Break the sacred ritual of hospitality. You slowly push the plate away. Everyone is silent. Their gazes are like knives. But they don't kill you. They let you go, because you passed the test. The trial of foreign conscience, as it would later be recorded in the Florentine Codex. Do you think this is an exception? No. Food here is the language of power. Corn for everyone. Meat for the chosen. And ritual meat for those whom the gods deemed worthy. But not only flesh determines your fate. In the bowl might be a brew of ololiuki roots. Drink it, and your body will reveal if you are guilty. The spirit will speak through the body's mouth. Or they might offer Jimson weed, and you will either see the gods or fall into a coma. The choice of dinner, a choice between trance and the grave. And now, your turn. You sit at the table of nobility. Before you is a dish prepared with special respect, the flesh of a warrior, sacrificed on the pyramid just a few hours ago. For the Aztecs, it is communion. For you, a nightmare. Eat it, and accept his strength, but lose yourself. Refuse and risk being declared an enemy. But sometimes, refusal is what saves you. Because the Aztecs respected those who followed their own laws, even if those laws led to death. Your plate is not dinner. It is a judgment without words. And the verdict has already been delivered. Food in Tenochtitlan is not sustenance. It is a boundary. Between the sacred and the criminal. Between guest and victim. Every bite is a choice. Every refusal is a challenge. And if you think this is the limit, wait. Because soon, a man in steel armor will step onto the shores of Mexico. His skin, white like bone. His language, alien. His behavior violates everything. But they will not kill him. They will meet him with reverence. Because the Aztecs were waiting for him. Or for who he might turn out to be. The embodiment of an ancient prophecy. He steps ashore, white cloak, beard, skin, like boiled bone. His name is Hernan Cortez, but to Tenochtitlan, he is not a man. He is prophecy in the flesh. The year 1 Reed, 1519. Exactly on schedule, Quetzalcoatl returns, the god with feathers, not claws. And Moctezuma trembles, god or criminal. He sends gold. Quetzal feathers. A cloak with the spiny serpent pattern, which you, stranger, had no right to wear even in your dreams. But Cortez puts it on, eats forbidden meat, doesn't bathe in the bathhouses. And still, he is not led to the boiling pot. Why? Because to kill a god means to extinguish the sun forever. Would you survive? No. You would break the rules, and you'd be erased in 10 minutes. But he breaks everything, and receives gifts. Here it is, the fragility of the system, built on fear, but collapsing from doubt. And yet the empire tries to save itself. Archaeologists find a layer of bones beneath the pyramid, twice as thick as usual. In the first 6 months of the Spanish presence, Sacrifices doubled. Priests in jaguar masks work without sleep. Hearts to the fire, bodies to the river. They feed the gods so that they do not let the world collapse. But the gods are silent, because true death does not come from the sea. It hides in the shirt of one soldier. In 1520, smallpox arrives in Tenochtitlan. Not a sword, not betrayal, a microbe. The Aztecs have no antibodies. 12,000 years of isolation, and their immune system doesn't know this enemy. Quarantine? Useless. Washing the streets? Doesn't save them. Their system of cleanliness, which killed you with one breath, is now powerless. Smallpox spreads faster than the guards. In 3 months, every second person dies. Priests, judges, warriors. Emperor Quitlawak, dead. Imagine, you lie in a reed house. Your skin, a mass of sores. Next to you, your mother's corpse. Beyond the wall, silence. Before, drums cried out in this place. Now, only coughing. And here is the blood-chilling irony. It was their order, their hygiene, their isolation, that made them vulnerable. You died from cleanliness, and they, from the same. Do you think this is a tragedy? No, this is a lesson. Any system, no matter how rigid, breaks when it encounters something that doesn't fit its code. And the European, and his microbes, didn't fit. Thus fell an empire where even your gate was law, not from steel, from the invisible, from what you could neither see, nor understand, nor stop. And now you know the truth. Survival in Tenochtitlan was impossible. Not because you are weak, but because reality itself there was set against you. Every breath, a mistake. Every step, a crime. And immunity, a sentence. You are dead, but now you understand. Everything killed you at once. Not the sword, not the priest, not fear. Rituals demanded your blood, but only if you fit the code, prisoner, warrior, volunteer. Laws, punished for the color of your sandals, for the length of your hair, for breathing out of rhythm with the drums. Cleanliness, washed streets, canals with fresh water, quarantine at the first cough, created a microbial world where your immune system was a blind puppy. Food, not hunger satisfaction, but a test of loyalty. Eat a foreign heart, gain strength, refuse, become emptiness. Microbes, those the Aztecs fought for 12,000 years, didn't know you, and killed you in 3 days. Would you survive? No. You didn't even know that rules existed. Imagine, your body lies at the steps of the Great Pyramid. Perhaps you were sacrificed, one of 20,000 a year. Perhaps you died in a hut from a fever your body couldn't recognize. Or perhaps you were scalded with boiling water for a pattern on your shirt, like hundreds before you. But now your spirit hovers over Tenochtitlan. You see 250,000 people, markets full of vanilla and chili, canals cleaner than in Venice, temples where hearts still beat after death. And you understand, this is not hell. This is a system, rigid, logical, without compromise. And you didn't fit into it, not out of malice, but by code. Civilization is not progress. It is a set of taboos. The Aztecs were not barbarians. They built an order where chaos was scarier than death. And in this order, it wasn't the hero who survived, not the smart one, not the saint, the one who knew the rules survived. And you came with a foreign code, and the system erased you, not out of cruelty, but as a bug in the program. The paradox is that their hygiene, their laws, their rituals, signs of high culture, made your existence impossible. You did not perish from savagery. You perished from foreign logic. So yes, you are dead. But you won, because now you see. You understand how the world works, where even breathing is a crime, where order kills softer than a sword, and where cleanliness is deadlier than the plague. And now, a question for you. Could you have survived in the Aztec Empire? Yes or no? Write in the comments. Because the answer will show you still think civilization is good, or you have already understood it is simply different.